Welcome to Tell You Later, the show where you learn so little about so much and vice versa. Sincere thanks to all those who support us on Patreon. See the full list at the end of the show.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, there's always room for more.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to their channel.
We haven't got a title song for this show, so we're singing this thing instead.
Okay.
It's really just a substitute. Nonetheless, the melody may stay in your head.
Oh, I hope so.
'Cause it's a tune.
It's a tune.
You'll love to croon.
You'll love to croon.
But there's one thing you should know. We have to confess we do not possess a title song for this show.
Ain't it peculiar?
Believe it or not, we haven't got a title song for this show.
Oops. And welcome to the trained professional version of the Tell You Later show. Another fascinating episode with another fascinating guest. I'm Katie Lee, and this is Jeff Moore here with me. Jeff, you have a middle initial.
L. Yeah.
L, like, is that Mexican? El Moore?
El Moore. That'd be El Mas.
El Moore. Hey, that's your Spanish name.
More
Jeff
and
El
Mas.
Mas.
She catches.
All right, but first I want to thank all the patrons who support the show. You guys make it happen, and we are so thankful for you. And by the way, if you aren't a patron yet, guess what? You can watch the show. You can sign up on patreon.com/tellyolater after the 4th of the month and watch the show for like a whole month for free. You can see all the stuff you're missing, and then hopefully you'll love it. But if you don't, you can say adios. That's Spanish.
Thanks for that.
Bye. And you know what? We can part ways as friends. Or you may want to pick a different tier level or whatever. But we would love to have you test drive us for free. Okay. By the way, I hear you drive fast.
By choice. That's not required.
I think most of the people, well, most of the men I know like to drive fast, and it seems that ministers seem to drive fast too. Why
Just
is
gonna
that? You
drop
just
the God card right there.
Oh yeah, so he's a man. Okay, so I'll tell you why Jeff's on the show.
Word. Why am I on the show?
Let me introduce you, because there's, you know what? I'm notorious for not knowing my guests' backstories.
Okay.
But I know they have them, and I know they're fascinating. So let me start out by saying, you guys know we went to Israel on a tour. And Jeff and his wife Karen, who you will meet eventually, because she's here, you in the Tell You Later studios. We were on the tour together. It was only about 15 of us, so we kind of got to know each other pretty well. And one of the things,
No, because you and I didn't want to go as fast as the guy who was leading the he had this fish on a stick, okay?
Follow the fish.
A car.
Follow the fish. Yes.
Bless your heart. This is what you do for a living. You know where we're going. I don't want to go 14 miles an hour the whole time. We're walking.
Well, you know, there's a lot to see when you're in a foreign country.
So we had to make friends because we hung back a little bit.
And we're just like looking. Well, you know what? Your brother also.
Right.
He was one of my hang behind, look at stuff
Ken's
buddies.
Awesome.
Yeah. Because there's so many cool things to see. Well, actually, because one of the things that Ken, we'll just talk about him, that we liked is how things are built. So we would look at the construction a lot.
Right.
So we're on this tour. We're in Israel. These guys are with us. And Jeff has just completed a stint, I'll say. I don't know, what do you call it in pastor language?
There's nothing in English.
Okay, so he and his wife were pastoring a church, and that sort of ended that period.
Right.
And there's so many more things we're going to talk about. But the reason I wanted you here is, first, I want to hear about, he's done a lot of traveling in his life, and he's seen some amazing things. Shared some stories with us. And I want you to talk about that. But also, he is embarked on a new voiceover career. And he's going at it like crazy, gung-ho. He's like signed up for all these classes and you brought mics over to my house that I know nothing about, so I can't really help you there. But I'll tell you why in a minute. I'll tell you later. But get it?
Yeah,
nudge,
I got that right
nudge,
here.
wink, wink. Yes. This is the truth bell.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, if you say something that really is true, you can hit it. Okay, just so you know.
All right.
And I think that's about all you need to know. So, yeah, and I thought we've had other people on who are starting their careers, but you're in a little different, the way you're going about it is, I think people would be interested because the people are at all different levels, and where you're at, I think, is really cool. So, let's start. You're Californian.
Yes, born in all my life.
Okay, and we went out to breakfast. Water time. And I had a lot of cream in my coffee, which you said you would never do for your voiceover class. You got a little weirded. You said, "Oh, I can't do that," right?
Right before voiceover class, I had a rich dinner, and it was great.
Now me, I just cough my way through it, which is terrible. All right, so what kind of, is there like a denomination pastor? Because you've taught pastoring too.
Sure.
Right?
I taught at a Bible school, have a Bible degree. When we were at breakfast, I'm a big shot. Yeah.
No, this is it, because this is like, it doesn't matter where you are in life.
Right.
Okay, that's what I want to say. We all are on this journey of discovering ourselves, and there's seasons in our life, and they change.
That's what my wife, who's right off screen. Hi, Karen.
Yes. Hi.
Hello.
We've been dating since December of '83. We've been dating.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. Like her.
Let's keep it going.
And she quotes. She says, life is a collection of seasons.
A collection. So
It
there's
is.
actually more than 4.
Yeah, and some of them last longer than others. Have you noticed? Have you noticed that?
I noticed
I had
that.
a winter that was 2 years one time.
Well, we can talk about that. So we go through different things. All our life experiences it prepares you for the next one. Like Queen Esther, right?
Beautiful story. Yeah.
Yeah, right? She said, I was born for a time such as this, right?
Yeah.
But we're ready. Whatever's happening, we're ready for the next step. All our life prepares us for that. So I thought you might want to share a little bit.
Thanks. Okay.
Do you?
Yeah, it's your show.
Well, good.
And,
I want you to say yes. Thank you.
And your husband's gonna.
We call him the crew of one, by the way.
Okay, well,
crew
then you'll
of one.
edit this. And when I start out by saying, sometimes what you've just done didn't prepare you for what's next.
Oh.
If we
It sounds like a sermon. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm past my halfway 50s, so I'm on the other side of it, and I know I don't look that way. I got a good marriage. Sometimes it looks like what you've done didn't prepare you for what's next. And I guess if you always had a handle on it, if you always knew what was next, you always knew with the confidence of, I got this every single time, you wouldn't take any faith. Because when I got it,
There's a
I
plug
don't need
for
help.
faith
Okay.
right there. Okay.
And, wherever you
Go
are.
faith.
Yeah, right? And I'm all about that, okay? And I could do more than you want on this particular show.
I have a feeling, so try to be careful.
Yeah, you're about to ring the bell on me.
He goes,
No, hey.
if you go too far, I'll use my kazoo, okay?
Okay, all right.
I won't get too
I'm
close to
just
your
saying,
ear. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it if it feels like you're prepared for something that doesn't exist anymore. God isn't wasting anything.
That's right.
That's the truth, okay? If it feels like you're revving up for something that doesn't happen, he's just keeping you in practice. Relax. It's okay. The important stuff, you'll be ready.
All right. That's a good word.
Okay.
All right. So you said you knew you wanted to be a preacher, from
Oh, gosh.
when you were
yeah.
young,
Yeah,
right?
when
I
was
know
a
you
kid,
told me
sure.
this. And then you went to school.
Right.
And then when you got out of school, what'd you do?
Married Karen.
Oh, okay. And then what happened? I know you had kids.
That's right. We got a daughter, Alyssa, and son, Christopher. I'll put my plug in for my kids. Love that.
We don't need a lot of personal
All right.
information. Just, okay, so then what happened?
We were in ministry when we were dating, working, teaching Sunday school youth and the singles ministry. And when we got married, we went into young marrieds ministry. And she knew she married a minister to start with.
Well, okay, I have a question about that.
Fire away.
do you think someone who's newly married is capable of ministering to other people who are newly married, or would you say they need to be married a little bit longer?
I will give you a 15-second answer. You ready? If you're looking for your own qualifications to qualify for ministry, you're looking the wrong place. There it is. Who's honestly qualified to stand up and preach to people?
Because but I don't know what you did.
Oh, we didn't try to counsel people on marriage counseling.
Oh, what did you do?
Okay, great. We would give practical application of what we discover. We'd live life together. We'd make a mess and clean it up.
So you'd all talk about what's going on, but you weren't really teaching as
Bible
mentors,
stuff.
though? Because you were married about the same time as the other people,
but
right?
I can speak into one place in somebody's life and shut my mouth because I'm not ready to speak into something else. I had no idea how to raise kids. All the people that published books didn't have kids, right? You publish it before you know everything. No, we would speak about life and walking with God, and let's discover this together.
Okay. All right. Okay. So then what? Then you moved on to something else?
Well, we weren't working our way up a ladder, that's for sure. Okay. But Vinny and I were talking about this earlier.
Would you say you were walking along a precarious edge like on the Empire State Building, instead sort of scooting your way through life?
Right. Dear God, what's next kind of thing? Sure.
Okay.
And but we were volunteering at church, which is great. We still volunteer at church. I think everybody should. But I was working in the mortgage business. Yeah, you have
I just discovered you were a realtor.
Yeah.
That's real. Something's muffling my bell. And you had a mortgage company.
Yes, I did.
So that was your main thing, and the other stuff was volunteering at church?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
It was for us. It was shaped like anything we can do to
pay the bills.
To pay the bills while we're ministering.
Yeah, but did you find that rewarding work?
Totally.
Oh, tell us about it.
Totally. Okay, let me take the bell away. Oh, it's a kazoo if I go too long. Think about it. When you know you're not qualified, you're qualified because God says, here, I want you to do this. Just don't worry about what it looks like. Are you
talking about being a realtor?
I'm talking about pouring into people's lives.
Okay.
Being a realtor, you can get qualified for that. You take some classes. You learn the stuff. You learn the stuff again so you don't screw it up because you're messing with somebody's life, right?
Yeah.
Well, when you're messing with somebody's life in a ministry capacity, they expect you to know, what should I do now? And, you don't have the answer.
Yeah.
You say, here's some things I know you shouldn't do. And
That's always good.
Right? Here's some things that will lead to death.
Don't do that.
Right?
Yeah.
And here's some things that'll lead to life, but okay, can I do a Bible thing? The Bible says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Treat it like it's the most important thing in your... Work it out.
Work it out.
Work it out.
Take it seriously.
Because yours looks different.
That's why you're here, because you take things seriously.
And if you haven't been dating the same girl for 39 years, that doesn't make me better or worse than you. It doesn't make you better, worse, or qualified or not qualified. If those things qualified us, then we wouldn't need some calling from God.
Okay.
And that means they can't disqualify you either.
So did you feel like being a realtor, though, and all that stuff you were doing was something that God was calling you to do, and you just fell into it? Or?
No, it was a means to an end, and I was real snobbish about, I'm a minister, that's the good part, and I'm a realtor, that's the busy part.
You know what?
I was wrong.
I
was wrong.
Yes. Well, I don't want to make you feel bad or anything, but we've talked about that a little bit on the show before, where we have two identities.
I did.
And I had two identities for a while.
You're a voiceover.
Well, yeah, I have.
You have more than two identities.
Yeah, well, I quote my friend Wally Wingert. When I was a kid, I had all these voices in my head, and when I got older, I got them all jobs.
Boom.
But that's not it. Oh, thank you. Well, that's for Wally. Shout out to Wally. No, but we think we have to live a certain... We have this, group of people that we associate with that for some reason, like you said, minister good, mortgage guy, meh, can't do much. And that is so not true. Because everything we do, everybody we meet, we're always, if our calling is to serve people, we serve them in any capacity that we live in, right?
That's right.
And that's what I try to remind I get emails and letters from people I'll say, my kid wants to go to Hollywood, and I'm just, although they're not Jewish, but it sounds like that, the tone, right? And, what's going to happen to them? And well, yeah, it's true. Not everybody
You were saying
in
the
Hollywood.
I part was Jewish, not going to Hollywood.
Right,
Okay,
exactly. Oy.
Is oy or
Oy
oy
vey,
vey,
yeah. I don't, who are they going to associate with? We're trying to raise them right. And I always say, look, no, not everybody here are, believers. If whatever you're looking for, no, it's a mixed population. But if your child wanted to be a plumber, would you only send them to homes of people that you knew were safe to fix their plumbing or work with people? Right. This is the world.
Only drink milk from Christian cows, right?
Exactly, something like that. So, our show isn't necessarily a faith-based show by any means, but it wheedles its way in here sometimes. So, that's the message. And I think, and so when I started going to church, and there were people in Hollywood who had an attitude, and I didn't, I didn't know how to do what I was doing. And when, at the time, you're younger than me, I was working on a cartoon show called Dungeons and Dragons, and I've mentioned this before, and the whole church was up in arms that this is satanic.
You lost your witness. I know it, sister.
Yeah, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to tell these people what I do, and should I quit? And I had a huge identity crisis.
Our friend Brian does the voice for
Venom.
What's the name? Venom.
Yeah, I know.
You know that.
Yeah. That's scary. But, and it wasn't I didn't think it was as scary. The point is, I did have when I'm at home, I'm a mom and I'm a wife and I take care of my kids and I don't talk about what I do for work. Although I love my work. When I'm at work, I'm doing that and I don't want to upset anybody. And then one day I had a revelation. My friend just posted a joke online. He said,
give me the kazoo. Wait a minute.
You can't use my kazoo. This is special. And it's private. It's a private kazoo. Anyway, you can use the bell. He said, I ordered how do you say? Is there a car called Epiphany? I ordered an Epiphany from, and he says, Epiphany. He said, but I didn't have to go pick it up. It just came to me. Anyway, so
I know.
I beat you to it.
Okay.
All right. So, anyway, but it just, be who you are everywhere. Don't be different. You don't have to wear different hats. Whatever your truth is, that's your truth. You don't have to tell other people how to live.
Right.
Just be you. And ever since then, I've felt pretty okay about everything.
Subtext here. I'll beg all of your viewers, give preachers a break. We are men and women trying to figure things out too.
Okay.
And we can be sure about something that's in the Bible and be sure that God's made it real. But, the application, we preach it, and we preach it with earnest. We preach it because we mean it, and it's right. But the application, man, we teach how the Bible says, hey, all these different gifts have different manifestations in each different person. We teach that because we believe it. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes we just are disappointed when they're different in different people. Mm. And it's more important in somebody else. And you know what? It's wrong. It's just an incorrect thing. It's usually not.
Do you know why one of the reasons why I married Crew of One?
Well,
not just because he's cute. Yeah. I know. Because I discovered that sometimes when I think I'm right, he's not wrong. He's right too. And that just baffled me so much. I couldn't figure out how we could both be right and have different approaches to things. And so I found this to be a lifelong science project to try to figure this out.
So good. God has a plan A and a plan A?
I guess, apparently. But anyway, so let's get back to, so you're doing your business, you're killing it, obviously, but you don't want to brag too much, so you push and then you've gone on some serious mission trips. Was that at the same time?
Yeah, and the truth is, I had no desire to go on trips.
Were you just shipwrecked or what?
Actually, I took Karen to Waikiki for a honeymoon because, I'm a 23-year-old I can do. Wow, I took my wife to Hawaii. I promised I'd take her back. It took me like 25 years to do that.
But you did it.
I did it.
Kept your promise. Okay.
Several times. We're doing okay. But I didn't care about me personally going out. From the church thing, we would give money to people out
You
there.
go. Have a good time.
Yeah, and tell me how it was and keep us posted. We'll keep supporting it. That's
Yeah.
great. We'll pay for it. And then the door opened up, and you can only have so many people in your life that you let tell you stuff. Everybody can have an opinion, right? But when somebody says, you really need to reconsider this, you got to have somebody in your life who's allowed to pull your leash.
Okay.
And I had that from a fellow who said, you really need to consider this. It might be a door that God's opened. I'm like, I don't need that on my resume. I'm doing just fine. And so I went to the Philippines.
The Philippines. That's a long flight.
It was
How long did it take you to get there?
about a year and a half. No, actually, I changed time zones. Then we came back, and then we went over. So I was in 1, 2, 3 time zones.
Oh, wow.
On one changes on one flight. But and then when we land, they took me to what's called the outside of the province, which means we went through guerrilla warfare area.
Oh, fun.
In these cars that were going as they drove, and we get out. We went through jungle with.
Is that because they didn't have mufflers?
Yeah, and maybe they forgot to put motor oil instead of vegetable oil.
So
I don't know.
they weren't running so well.
Yeah, that's right. And I was scared they're going to take me out and take my kidney and leave me or something. So we go out in the middle of jungle, and then we burst into another very large neighborhood area, and so. And I don't know, you might have to edit this. I'm about to cry. It was really a God thing. It was really that huge. Saw amazing things, changes in people's lives, both in their
So
in their
when
families.
it opened up, it was a village.
Yeah, it was a little city.
A city.
Little city. We started in Manila, and we went somewhere, and then we were in a city. So that's how it was. I went back.
What did you see? Can you share a couple things?
Saw.
Because it's always interesting to hear from someone who was an eyewitness.
Okay, I saw a guy's leg healed of cancer. You see the stuff on TV. You hear about, and you read about, Jesus used to do this stuff.
Should we get some tissue?
Oh, I got a hanky.
You got a hanky.
Yeah, because I figured I'd sweat under all these lights, is what it is.
Oh, okay.
But the truth is, I saw it, and there was no faking it,
Wow.
Saw this woman with a lump on her neck, like a golf ball underneath her
Are those
skin,
called goiters?
a goiter kind of thing. Shrink like a frog during mating. She's just gone.
How fast did
Out of there.
it shrink?
About as fast as I just said.
Wow.
She didn't just swallow something. There's no faking on this stuff.
So you had healing services.
Yeah,
Wow. And
Yeah.
had you been part of that before?
I've seen it.
But you were never
I've
part
seen
of it.
I've been included in it. This time I was the big name on the marquee.
You were the MC of the
I was the
healing service.
I was the
Wow.
minister.
How did that happen? Without you actually, you never said you were. They just kind of pushed you into
I
that?
was invited to come, and like I said, this mentor of mine said, "You really need to consider this," and I went out of obedience to him and to God.
Wow. So what would you? A lot of people do these kinds of things with a lot of fanfare. They have big names, and you just went. And I assume you were instrumental in praying for these people.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
What's the key? Is it a magic word? Is it a disposition of your heart? Is there some, I'm sure people watching wonder, what is it that could, how do you pray and see those kinds of things happen?
I can answer you the best I can answer you. If I knew the formula, I'd write a book and retire, right? The people that wanted to get prayed for believed that somehow God was going to touch them.
So you think their faith,
Their
kind
faith,
of like the way
yeah.
the Bible talks about.
I could sense in myself a confidence, not that every time I prayed for people, everything's happened. Because I prayed for this guy named, I don't give his name, it's okay. He had leukemia. I prayed for him. I believe God has raised him. He died. I stood with Karen. I stood with his wife and his kids at the funeral. Come on, and you walk through things afterwards. There was this guy named Alex at that first time I went. He was blind. I prayed for him. I really thought God was going to heal him. I left, came back to America. He wasn't healed. He believed he was going to get healed. I believed he was going to be healed. The Bible says that Jesus paid for our healing. I came back 3 days later, fully healed.
Wow.
Fully healed. The pastor was so excited when he finally did tell me. I almost brained him because he didn't call me the next day, but never mind.
Well, that's amazing.
Faith,
So you
not
know
in me.
that
No, not in me. Not faith in me.
sometimes things can take a while. So that's also kind of a good word. It might not happen immediately, but it doesn't mean it's not going to happen, right?
I can.
And as, do you feel like a failure once you pray for somebody and they aren't healed? Like your friend you were sharing about.
No, I felt sad. Sometimes when I've prayed and God hasn't done what I've asked, and I pray a lot, and a lot of times it doesn't happen what I ask. I don't know what to do with that.
What do you say to yourself?
I have been convincing myself. If this is a tool you can use this, okay? I've been convincing myself what I said earlier. If everything happened the way I thought it would, I wouldn't need faith. When you go through stuff and you don't get your way, you still got to trust. I mean, I have the best wife on the planet sitting right here to my right, and when she doesn't do what I ask her to do, do I still trust that she loves me? Of course, that's stupid. Do I still trust that maybe she sees something I don't even see, right? And she's just a human like me. We're talking about when God doesn't do what I want. What am I supposed to do? It's not a magic lamp.
So you have to just trust that He has a bigger picture, and
He knows better than me.
Yeah, that happened
That's a
to
pill
me.
about this big you have to swallow every time.
Yeah, I remember one time when I was going through probably the hardest thing, and I just was like cruising through it, thinking, I just got to deal with this, and then I finally broke down. I was like, God, why am I doing? I have to go through this, and He said, I only heard God about a couple times in my life, but very clearly He said, why not? I said, why me? He said, why not you?
Wow.
I was like, fine, all right, let's go. Let's do it. And you know what? Everything we go through, if our hearts are right, we can use it to minister to other people eventually. And that's why we're on this planet, to help each other, right?
That's right. And if we get our eyes open, we'll see grace. Can I tell you a story? It's going to take a minute and a half.
Okay.
I'm running sound for this church. Everything's going wrong.
So you're a sound guy
No.
too?
Wait, years and years ago, I was running a sound board.
You were pretending to be a sound guy. Okay.
An analog board.
Oh.
Okay, I'm running.
Chicks, you want to explain what analog is?
No. So
Look it up.
every channel you had to turn a dial. That's what kind of board it was. And
It had actual
everything was
dials.
going right. It's going to take longer than a minute and a half.
Okay,
here.
go ahead.
So everything's going wrong. And it's because one of the leaders had gone and flipped a switch on the back of one of the EQs and didn't tell anybody. Anyways.
Was it out of phase? Was it out of phase?
It was worse. And so in between the first and second service, I mean, and also they're calling me out from the stage. If you've ever been in a church where the minister says, "Hey, what's wrong with the sound back there?"
And you're like, oh.
They're going to be held to pay. I just got to tell you. So I don't know if you have to edit out the word hell, but there's. So
I think we're okay.
Okay, all right, in church. So I go out to my car, and it was a minivan, and I'm sitting there, and I'm talking to God because I'm in church. I'm doing the sound. I'm talking to God, and I wanted, you're going to be surprised, this me, spiritual giant, I wanted to say, God, that F word sucked. In between services at church, I'm going to go back in and do sound second service. But I'm sitting there and I just couldn't. And I said, God, that sucked. And from the back seat of the minivan, my little daughter, who had come out with a stomach ache and snuck out of Sunday school.
Oh, you didn't know she was there.
Didn't have a clue. And she said, what sucked, Daddy?
Oh, my word.
Is that grace?
Yeah.
God kept me. He would understand. God understands when we talk real with him. I'm not encouraging you to cuss at him. I'm just saying.
But it's
But
good
he
that
knew
you
that would have been a thing that my daughter would always have. Now she's an adult, got a couple of kids of her own. I've told her that story. And
So did they fix the sound?
I went back in and I actually
what
started
I
asking
wanna know.
questions.
Yes.
And the one guy said, well, I fixed your setting on the back of the EQ. And I went, I didn't call him what he deserved to be called. I flipped it back the way it was. And what do you know? Everything went seamlessly.
Everything worked. See, and you know what? That's another good point. Communication really helps.
And don't touch other people's
Asking for
things.
help. Yeah, and don't touch other people's things. And if you do, let them know that you did it.
And if you're a minister, that doesn't mean you're right about everything.
Okay. So there are now
Travel.
moving
We went
right
to-
along. You traveled. You've done
Karen
other things.
Karen to the Middle East, the East Philippines. Took my son to the Philippines.
So you kind of got a connection with the Philippines.
Went to Romania and was great time. A lot
Really?
of
When
hard
did
work.
you go to Romania?
I don't know, 2006,
Yeah, what'd you do there?
2005. Took about, I was teaching at a Bible college, but took about a dozen students and 4 or 5 staff members, and we went over there to build a playground for an orphanage.
How lovely! We have a son who's from Romania.
That's so cool. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yes. So mulțumesc. Mulțumesc.
I have no idea what she
That
said.
means thank you. Mulțumesc.
Welcome.
In Romanian. Yes, that's very nice because they do rely on people from the outside helping, taking care of the kids there.
Right.
I
Oh,
think.
and the doctors chain smoke. I was surprised at that.
Well, yeah.
What do you do?
Things are surprising when you
The
leave.
water was
Yeah.
terrible. Karen packed some Propel or some flavor packets for me. Thank God, saved my life.
Really?
Because the flat water there had so much sulfur content for my
And
flavors.
they drink that?
And it was what they were drinking and
Yeah.
everything. So I popped one of these little flavor packets and saved my life.
Well, good for you. And there's a tip. If you go to, I don't know if it's still that way, but
Are you
just in case.
sponsored by Propel or any of those?
No, not yet.
Okay.
It probably,
Hint.
could be. Yes, Propel. Flavor your water. Not an official sponsor of the Tell You Later show yet. Thank you very much. All right, so that brings us to fast forward in the 2000s, and when I meet you, you tell me that you're interested in doing voiceover now in your career. What prompted that?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Tell You Later is a Patreon-driven entertainment show. So what are you waiting for? Come on over. Join us at patreon.com/Tell You Later.
If you like to smell the cactus bloom, welcome to Cactus County. And loads of elbow room, welcome to Cactus County. If you like your mornings fresh,
Hello there.
welcome
My
to
name
Cactus
is
County.
Vernon. Do you know how to confuse a coal miner?
Cactus County.
Show him a row of shovels and tell him to take his pick. That's a good one.
If you like a jillion stars at night, welcome to Cactus County. Or a prairie moon's romantic light, welcome to Cactus County. Welcome to Cactus